Regular viewers to the channel will know that I'm on a mission to make this place pay for itself because these tools are damn expensive. And while I've been doing that, I've come across a constant problem. I'm listening to all the sales advice that's out there online, all these modern gurus, all this tech involved. But what if the ultimate sales technique had already been discovered by the greatest generation? Years we've spent reinventing the wheel for what? Headaches, eye strain looking at computers, and out frustration. So I'm going to show you a technique that I've used to help me sell some products lately. You'll be amazed at both how simple it is and how technology free. But first I need to make a product because this is a repeating customer and I need to make sure that I'm getting their order out. Sound interesting? Then join me. So this project starts with a bit of a scavenger hunt because my workshop is full of stuff at the moment, and typically the piece of wood that I want is all the way down there. Well, I'm back. Nearly gave myself a hernia climbing over there to get this out, but I have recovered a half sheet of walnut ply. Fantastic. This is why I keep my offcuts, because you'll never know where you can put these to use again and earn just a little bit of money. As you can already see, I earned some money at Christmas with some baubles from this piece, so it owes me nothing, but it can make me everything. So now that I've stopped gushing over half a sheet of plywood, I just need to clarify something. When I said there was no technology involved, I meant the sales side, because for this project I'm going to be using my Acmer CNC. This has been a game changer in my workshop. Nice and simple, just like me you might say. I've found so far that the best thing to do is to use some double-sided tape to stick my workpieces onto some sacrificial board. After I've done that, I can design what I want. And I've gone for some dead easy designs. These are quite simply going to be keychains that are customizable. And that sales technique is quite simply just word of mouth. Because you see, the people that have asked for these are a repeat customer. It's somebody who I've made a couple of chopping boards for, and they've come back and asked me to do a couple of other little bits. One of those being these keychains. Now I know what you're thinking. I'm not going to be a millionaire making keychains. That's quite right, I'm not going to be. But what it is this sheet of ply that already owes me nothing is going to make me £1 per keyring. And they've ordered 20. An afternoon's work while just mucking around in workshop is going to end up paying for some more wood for me to muck around even further. All just by getting out there, doing some products for people, keeping in contact, and doing that age-old thing that seems to be forgotten by the youth for today, which is simply just talking to folk. Now, I could have quite simply left this project here, a nice crisp cut out line, and you get the contrast between the walnut veneer and the plywood underneath. But I'm looking to make this pop because yet again I want to go back with something that hasn't really took me much work but looks great, because again what I'm trying to generate here is this feeling that when somebody wants something doing in my local area, I'm the guy to come to. I'm the guy that's going to solve all the problems, and when somebody's asking around for who that guy is, I want them to be saying, go speak to Ross from Fat Hog Woodworking, he's your man. So with that in mind, we need to make the letters here and the surrounding pop. Now, you could try paint this and sand it off, but that's been done a million times. So I thought, what about using a little bit of filler? Because ultimately I've only gone about 1.5 mil deep here, so it's not going to take much to fill it in. There's not going to be any great voids that are going to collapse later on and leave little pockets or anything like that. And already just putting a scraping on, I can see that this is going to look absolutely awesome with the white against the walnut colour. Always make sure you get your dust particles out though. Nothing worse than them drying in place. And after a short time of drying, it's onto some sanding. Now I found it easier to hold the sanding pad upside down and use the keychain as the driver for sanding this back, but you can do it any way you want. And once you're happy with how the finish has come up, it's time to go on and put your keychain on. Now these are fantastic. I bought a box of about 100 of these for a couple of quid a few years ago. It's literally pence each, doesn't really cost you anything, but it's just that little touch again that makes it stand out, and so far so good. So now it's time to add some finish. I'm going for a little bit of furniture polish made by a mate of mine. This stuff's fantastic. It will not only make it pop, but it'll also seal it nice and tight, make sure that it's going to be slightly robust for being in a kind of coffee shop environment. I'm probably going to make you laugh with what I say next, because the hardest part about this project wasn't using a CNC. It wasn't designing something. It was trying to hold this little keychain with my big fat useless fingers. I can't tell you how many times this slipped around and jetted out and tried to make its way off. Luckily, I kept hold of it though. It's amazing how bad it is when you've got sausage fingers. There we go, a nice, simple, repeatable product. Now that I've designed and made this, all I have to do is change the writing and I can copy this as many times as I want. Customize it in any way. I can put a logo in there, I can put different names in. Like I say, the coffee shop that's ordered these, I've ordered 20. It's 20 easy pounds for my workshop, where I can use a machine that's going to go on its own whilst I just potter around and do some other tasks on this side of the workshop. And that's the bit I want to leave you with on this video. It's about how machines like this can help you in a small workshop. Yes, I'm using mine to sell things, but ultimately you could use this to make small parts for any of your projects, brackets to go on your walls to hold tools up, to make drawer handles. The sky is the limit with stuff like this, and I really am enjoying this Acme 4S CNC machine. It's absolutely bob on for the small tasks. Now, I have put it through its paces over the last 3 or 4 months. This is video number 3 if you've been watching along, and what I will say is I've found that it works best on materials like this. The smaller kind of things is more suited for this CNC machine. That's not to say it can't do the bigger things, but it maybe doesn't do 1/2 inch thick hardwood quite so well. It does work, like I say, but it just means that you've got to be a little bit closer to it. You've got to be monitoring what it's going. Whereas stuff like this, you can eat, sleep, rinse, repeat. Just leave it there whilst you're on the other side of the shop making sawdust, doing something else. If anyone's interested in looking at one of these Acme CNC machines, I'm going to leave some links down in the description below. I'll be honest with you, this is a sponsored video because this machine has been supplied to me by Acme, but these are my own thoughts about how good it is. And when it comes to the links, yes, they are affiliates. It doesn't charge you anymore, but it does give my small workshop just a couple of pence back here and there, so I can help keep this place running, hopefully make some useful videos for you, because ultimately I like nothing better than trying to pass on what I'm learning along this journey to you guys to see whether you can A, do it yourselves, or more likely do it better than I'm doing. So I'd just like to say, I'm Ross, this is Fat Hog Woodworking. Thank you very much for watching along with us today, and I hope to see you on the next build video or tool review. Have a good day in your shop.